Hello, my name is Dwight. Welcome to Drumming with Dwight. This is the first episode of hopefully many that I will be able to make for my flipped classroom setting. Um, for this first episode, I wanted to focus on snare drum and snare drum technique. So we're going to be learning both how to hold the sticks along with the 4 stroke types that we utilize in every drumming. So first, we've got to learn how to hold the stick in a proper manner that will allow us to use the total percussion technique. Total percussion technique is a system of technique that will translate across all instruments. And so this is what we're going to start with, is just learning how to hold the sticks with proper grip. So first things first, we have our 2 hands. We're going to use whatever hand is our dominant. I am right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand. Take and point at your friend. If you're watching this with a classmate or somebody, if not, just point at your stick. We're going to point our finger at it, start at what is called the butt of the stick, tee-hee, and we're going to move up all the way up a third of the stick. I know you can't see the full stick, but just this is the third of the stick. Okay? And so you see these 2 finger cracks where your knuckles are, right? We're going to take our stick in our non-dominant hand, and we're going to place that point that we found, and we're going to place it right in between, just like that. And we're going to carefully and gracefully put our thumb on the top of it. This point where our index finger and our thumb meet is called the fulcrum. This is where our stick is going to rotate from. So it is important that we have, and they are across from each other. And then we'll just gently wrap our hand around the stick with our thumb in line. Our thumb is in line and our index finger is horizontal to it. Okay? I'm going to repeat that process again. Point at your stick with your thumb out. Go all the way up a third of the stick. Place it in between your finger cracks. Carefully and not tight, put your thumb on top of the stick in line with your index finger. And carefully wrap around your fingers. Make sure your thumb is in line with the stick and your index finger is horizontal. And then you'll just repeat that with your left hand. And so you'll have something like this, but this isn't a great setup to actually play. So we're going to rotate our hands to where our index knuckle is pointed towards the sky. I'll repeat that. Where our index knuckle is pointed toward the sky, not the face of our hand and not our thumbs, right here. And then we'll just put them at a 45-degree angle right next to each other.
All right, so we're going to start with our 4 stroke types, but I want to review how we hold the stick. We point at the butt of the stick. We move up a third. We take the stick and place it in between the knuckles on the inside of our hand, the first and second knuckle. We create our fulcrum with our index finger and our thumb horizontal to each other and our thumb in line with the stick, and we repeat the same way, and then we form a 90-degree angle. Our first stroke that we're going to learn about is the full stroke. All stroke will have an end point and a start point. And this one, our start point is up and our end point is up. And that is a complete full stroke. As you can see, my hands are open. It lets the stick move freely, and it rotates within the fulcrum. That helps us utilize the drum's rebound when we have such a large range of motion that we have to complete. And just as a reminder, our stroke is initiated from our wrist, not our arm, and beginning students will have a habit of utilizing their fingers by trying to flick the stick into the drum. Just remember that our hand only opens so the stick can move more, and not the stroke being initiated by finger. Our next stroke type is called the tap stroke. Here you can see me repeating the process of how we hold the stick. This is crucial for students to do every time until they know how it feels to hold the stick permanently. So this is why I try to have all my beginning students go through this process several times every time they pick up a stick. As you can see here, while we have a motion, our start point and end point are both down. This creates a complete tap stroke. We don't have to lift our wrist much, but it's still initiated by the motion is still initiated by wrist. And you can't see very well because my thumb is in the way, but my back fingers are not opening up. This is because a tap stroke requires more control. There's less rebound because we have less velocity. And so we have to really kind of initiate the stick more. And that is why we hold on to the back. We continue to let our fingers stay as they naturally fall. We don't squeeze the stick when we're down, but they just don't open up. Our next stroke type is for transitions from a high range to a low range. This is called a downstroke. Our beginning point is up and our end point is down. We will have more control over the stick since we are reducing the actual amount of space that we are moving in, and so our back fingers will just not open up like we would when we're utilizing the rebound of the drum. Now, a tendency to have is to squeeze the stick down, and that's not what we're going for. All we're doing is not moving our wrist back up. If you can see, my stick kind of bounces after I strike the drum, but my wrist does not move. That's the key to a downstroke. All right, it's our last stroke type. So we've had full, tap, down, and now we have up. This is where our starting point is down and we end up. This is the hardest one because we have to do a lot of effort into making sure that our stick stays low at the beginning and comes back up fast. I like to think of it as lead with the bead. Some of the issues that you're going to see are kids or people who are just starting out on drums scooping it, where they move their hand forward and down and then bring the stick up. So just be wary that the actual motion is just from the wrist turning up and not scooping up. As you can see, my fingers are still on the stick controlling it, and they are closed, not gripping, but closed. Alright, so now we're going to be using the four combinations, or different combinations with these four stroke types. If you see, I have the accent pattern labeled in the top left. The first one we have in this one is a down, tap, tap, up. Labeling these for your students is going to be really helpful, or having them label it. This is really handy when it comes to passages of music that have a lot of tap accent kind of things. Alright, so this pattern covers all four stroke types right in a row. Full, down, tap, up. 2 accents, 2 non-accented. This one is kind of hard because it covers all 4, unlike the last one which only covered 3. That one, the previous one, really focused on the taps. This one focuses on the transitions. Okay, I haven't labeled this one, and that's because I want you to transcribe it for me for your exit ticket from class, including the accent pattern and the 4-stroke types.